Hello guys, welcome to week 6. Um, it's already the last week of April. It's going by really fast. We have about 5 to 6 more weeks, and then that's it for this semester. I just want to briefly go over this week. It's going to be a little bit different this week because I will be assigning like the work online, no more packets, pick up from school. So the video that I'll be making today will be for Monday and Tuesday, solving radical equations. And since you guys have already picked up your Chromebook, I will start assigning Carnegie Learning assignments. So I will be posting that online um, on Wednesday. But Monday and Tuesday, your assignments are going to be due on Thursday, kind of like what I usually do. Like I assign on a certain day, and then in like 3 days, 3 school days, it will be due. So same thing like here. And then when I give you guys um, the video for Thursday, it will be a really short video for Thursday because it's just one worksheet. Well, two for honors, but that will be due the following Tuesday, okay, along with the Carnegie assignments. And then since you're not getting the packets, you are welcome to print it out, but I don't know, I wouldn't want to ask you guys to print it out and just take pictures of them. So you can just work on them on line paper. Just make sure you write your title and your date and show all of your work. Upload them to the Google Classroom Dropbox. Okay, so let's go to our lesson for Monday and Tuesday, solving radical equations. Let's start off with a few warm-up questions. If I give you guys these 3 questions, can you guys do them without my help first? Okay, you can pause the video and work on them. Okay, and now I'm going to show you guys the answers. If I have to solve for x for the first question, I have to get rid of the square roots, right? Remember, to get rid of the square root, you got to do the opposite of it, which is square. And if I square the left, I got to square the right side as well. And then the square and the square root get canceled out, and I'll be left with x equal to 4. Okay, second question. Same thing, this time is called cube root. Okay, so cube root, I got to cube it and also cube the other side of the equation. Okay, so cube root and cube get canceled out. I have x left equal to -2 times -2 times -2. How many negatives are there? There are 3 negatives, right? So that means we're left with 1 negative because 2 of them get canceled out. 2 times 2 times 2 is going to be 8. So x equals to 8. Okay, last question. Square both sides. So they get canceled out. I have x equals. Now I have -2 times -2. Okay, your answer would be +4. So please don't get it wrong whenever you are taking something to the third power, fifth power. You got to do exactly the right amount of negatives. And if you are taking a negative number to the third power, fifth power, or any odd number, the negative remains. Okay, but if you're doing anything to the even power, so these are even power, it will just be positive. Okay, odd degree, and your answer is still going to be negative if you are taking the power of a negative number. Okay, wait, hold on. That last question. If I have to put the 4 back into the x, okay, it will look like this, right? Equal to -2. I'm checking my work right now. This is this valid? Square root of 4 is really a 2, right? It doesn't equal to -2. So in this case, it's actually no solution. Okay, and I will tell you guys what that means in a little bit. So let's look at some examples on how to solve for radical equations. First off, let's look at quadratic equation and also look at radical equation. They are very similar in solving. If I have 2x squared minus 5 equals to 13, and if I have 2 square root of x minus 5 equals to 13, let's look at the left. I can add 5 on both sides, cross that out, so 2x squared equals to 18, right? Keep going, divide by 2, so I have x squared equals to 9, and square root both sides. Remember, when you square root the number, you gotta do, or the right side, you gotta do plus or minus. So square root and the square get canceled out. I have x equals plus or minus 3. Okay. Second question. Radical equation. Same thing. You want to, before you square both sides, you want to get rid of anything that's outside of the square root, which is plus 5, 18 equals to 2 square root of x. Again, the 2 is outside, so we gotta divide by 2. Get rid of the 2, we have square root of x equals to 9. Okay, now you can square both sides and get rid of the square and square roots. X equals to 81. Okay, even though the steps are very similar, your answers are totally different because one you're square rooting it, the other one you're taking the square of it. Okay, I am going to show you a couple more examples. So let's look at these two questions. You guys try to do it on your own line paper. Okay, so the one on the left, again, we want to keep the square root of x by itself. So we got to get rid of the 7, which is 18. Divide by 3. Square root of x equals to 6. Almost done. Square both sides. Cancel that out. So x equals to 36. Okay. So again, some of these questions, we got to substitute it back in just to make sure that it equals to the other side. So you can write the 36 and just write everything else just to make sure. If square root of 36 is a 6 times a 3, and if I add the 7 to it, does it give you 25? Yes, it does. It gives you 25. Okay, let's look at this question. We square both sides. So wait, let me go back first. This question right here, because the root covers everything, okay, this root covers everybody in there, we can't get rid of anything yet before this square root. So square both sides. So I'm going to cross out my square roots and square. X plus 1 equals to 64. Okay, and now I can subtract 1 on both sides. X equals to 63. Okay, so if you want to substitute it back in, 63 plus 1 equals to 8. Square root of 64 equals to 8. Yes, it equals. Okay, so now let's talk about some questions that they may not be equal. And just like this question up here from earlier. So those kind of problems, we call those extraneous solutions. They are solutions that result from the process of solving an equation, but are not valid solutions. Okay, so I will show you 3 questions right here. Some of them are valid, some of them are not valid. So we got this question, 2 times that, okay? And then the last one is this one right here. Okay, 3 questions. Go ahead and try it on your own, and then you tell me which one it seems like the answer is not valid. Okay, first question, I'm gonna cube both sides. 2x minus 3 equals to 2 to the third power is 8. And then I'm going to add 3 on both sides, so 2x equal to 11. And then divide by 2. So x equals to 11 over 2. Okay, it's a fraction. But I'm going to substitute this back into my original question and see if it equals to 2. So these get canceled out. I have 11 minus 3, which is 8. Cube root of 8, does that equal to 2? Yes, because 8 is a 2 times 2 times 2. And now I have 3 pairs of 2. I have 3 pairs of 2. I can take that out and write it once. Drop down your 2, and that equals. Okay, so that's not the extraneous solution. That's just like the literal solution. Oh, number 2, I'm not done writing the question. Number 2, it was equal to 0. Okay, so keep solving for this. I am going to subtract 16 and divide by 2. So we have cube root of x equals to negative 8. Okay, remember, can we have roots equal to a negative number? Actually, yes, but sometimes. Okay, if we are looking at cube roots, anything with the odd degree, this is odd, so it works. We can continue from there. Okay, but if it was a square root, then no, we cannot continue to make it equal to a negative number. Okay, so let's cube root both sides, or cube both sides. These get canceled out. I have x equals negative 8 to the third power. Okay, maybe you can use a calculator for that, but that equals to negative 512. Okay, so put it back into your function. Does it equal to 0? Cube root of negative 512, we really just found the cube of 8, so it's really negative 8. And I put a 2 on the outside plus 16. Negative 16 plus 16 equal to 0. Check. Okay, last one. I'm going to subtract 9 on both sides because that's not part of the square roots. And I have negative 1 equals to square root of 3x minus 1. Okay, so here we go. This is no solution because we cannot have a square root equal to a negative 1. No solution. But we still have to continue to find the extraneous solution. Okay, so I'm going to square both sides. We have 3x minus 1 equals to 1. 3x equals to 2. X equals to 2/3. Okay, so this is not valid, but it's just one of the extraneous solution. Okay? Extraneous solution. But our real solution is no solution. Okay? I am going to show you guys some homework questions. And I will do some from day 1 and I'll also do some from day 2. For day 1, actually let's look at the actual page. For day 1, let's do number 4. Okay, question number 4. I have to get rid of the 5th root, so I gotta multiply both sides by the power of 5. So these get canceled out. That means I still have 3x minus 3 equals to 2 to the 5th power. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, which is 32. Okay, keep going. Add 3 on both sides. So I have 3x equals to 35. X equals to 35 over 3. Okay, and substitute it back in, and you will find out that it actually equals to 2. Okay, so this one's good to go. Another one that I want to show you guys. Let me see. Let's do number 6. So number 6, What are some of the items that we have to get rid of first? We gotta get rid of the positive 5, and we also gotta get rid of the 4 later. So subtract 5 on both sides. 4 times 5th roots of x equals to, that gives you negative 8. Okay, divide both sides by 4. So now I have 5th roots of x equals to negative 2. Again, it's okay for it to be negative because it's an odd power. So now I'm going to take it to the 5th power. Cross out the 5's. X would equal to, hey, we kind of did that earlier from number 4, right? 2 to the 5th power is 32. But since we have a negative, and I'm multiplying this 5 times. So this is going to be a negative 32. Okay, so put negative 32 back in there. And that's your answer. Okay, so I'm going to leave you to finish the rest of the questions on your own for day 1. Let's move on to day 2 and do some questions from here. Day 2, we have 8 questions. So I'm going to show you guys actually 2 questions. Okay, and then if you have any more questions, you can ask me on Zoom day. Okay, so number 1, let's do number 1. Since I have a square root, okay, I gotta square both sides. Okay, day 2 is just it's more challenging than day 1. So if I square both sides, the left side I'm gonna have 9 plus 6x plus x squared. Okay, let me show my work on the left. 3 plus x times 3 plus x. If I do my FOIL, I have 9 plus 3x plus 3x plus x squared, which equals to 9 plus 6x plus x squared. Okay, and continue. This equals to square root and square get canceled out, so I have 4x plus 9. And now, because we have 3 terms, let's move everything onto the same side by minusing 4x, minusing 9, and just set everything equal to 0 and rewrite it in order. So I'm going to have x squared plus 2x. 9 minus 9 goes away, so technically this is it. Okay, so I'm going to factor out my x. I have x plus 2 left equal to 0. Let's keep going. So I'm going to put x equal to 0, x plus 2 equal to 0. This is already done. And then this would be x equals to negative 2. Okay, so if you are going to substitute it back in to your function, it will look something like this. And it's negative 2. Will also look like this. Okay, so I substitute my numbers. These are my numbers back in there. And we get 3 equals to square root of, that goes away, so I have 9. 3 equals to 3, check. 3 minus 2 is 1, equals to negative 8 plus 9. 1 equals to square root of 1, so 1 equals to 1, check. Okay, so this is how you do every single question. I'm going to do number 6. Okay, so let's take both sides to the 3rd power. This would be negative x to the 3rd power, because I have 3 of those negatives, equals to x squared minus 12x. Okay, again, we have stuff that are to the 3rd power, so I'm going to move everything to the left side. So I'm going to move this over here, I'm going to move that over there as well. So it'll be negative x to the 3rd power minus x squared plus 12x equals 0. Okay, follow along with me. I'm going to factor out what they all have in common. If you kind of look, they all have an x in common. And I'm also going to take out that negative. So take out negative x. We have x squared plus x minus 12, because all the sign changes, equal to 0. Okay, so this negative x right here, I can already set it equal to 0, because that's by itself now. I have to break down my parentheses right here. So x times x. What are the two numbers that I multiplied to get negative 12? And also add to get x. It would be 4 and 3, right? With a negative 3 and positive 4. So I'm going to have an x plus 4 equal to 0 and an x minus 3 equal to 0. That means my final answers are going to be x equal to 0, x equal to negative 4, and x equals to 3. Okay, substitute them in just really quick to see if it works. So if you put 0 into those, everything goes away, 0 equal to 0. Put negative 4 in there, I get, actually, so if you substitute it back in, you gotta erase these extra stuff. Okay, if you put negative 4 in there, I get a positive 4, because negative and negative go away. And then I get a cube root of 16 plus 48. 4 equals to cube root of 64. Yes, 4 equal to 4. Okay, last one, I put 3 in there, I get negative 3 equal to cube root of 9 minus 36. Negative 3 equal to cube root of, what is that, 27? Negative 27? Negative 3 equal to negative 3. Check. Okay, so we got all the answers here. So for these questions right here, I can tell you that one of them has no solution. So you got to figure out which one it is. Okay, so that's it for this video. So make sure you guys join my meeting on Zoom on Tuesday from 1 to 2. I will post a link on Google Classroom. If you guys have any questions and want to work on your homework with me, feel free to do so. And I can go over some of your homework questions. And also, if you join the meeting, you will get extra credit. Oops. Extra credit for joining the meeting. Okay. All right. Have a good day. Bye.